We want interviews like we've just seen from Jurgen Klopp. That's what we want to see, a manager being really honest, being emotional, knowing that this game sort of affected them. And the decisions that went against Liverpool in terms of the penalty was a blatant penalty. Harry Kane should have been sent off. There's no doubt about that. And I think we're in a position now with VAR where I think we all were frustrated with it a year or two ago. I think it's in a decent place right now. But it's got to the stage now where we've almost gone completely the other way, where last season almost meant a little touch on the ankle and people were getting a penalty and saying contact. We've come away from that, thankfully, but we're now to the stage where you almost think, what's the point of VAR in these penalties? So we saw one today with Newcastle and one today where it's a blatant penalty. Now, people complain about VAR. It's not VAR. It's who's controlling VAR. So we look at the referee today and say, not good enough. Chris Kavanagh is on VAR today. There has to be a penalty. And Harry Kane has to be a red card.
Well, let's see the penalty first, then. We're talking about the penalty right now. And you heard from Jurgen Klopp that he was told by the referee, we take Jurgen Klopp's word for this, that he stopped on purpose and invited that contact, Jermaine, which is why he didn't give a penalty.
I can understand Klopp's frustration because, like you said, when you're going through on goal, you have to stop at some point. So you're in control, so you can get the finish. And when you watch it back, I think Tottenham are lucky there, to be honest, because you have to stop so you're in control to finish. You can't just go at the same speed because you just can't. And then, but obviously, he's frustrated. That's why I said to the referee, if you played football, you'd be able to understand, which they haven't. So
it's horrendous to see. He just barges him. I mean, how you can't see that, or at least get some opinion from the VAR, Chris Kavanagh, that he takes the time, uses his body, and.
Well, this goes to Jamie's point, doesn't it? Because this is this sort of tweaking of where the balance is right now. There seems a real determination from the VAR to let the referees referee the
game. Look at the position he's got. Surely he can see that as well. Look. I mean, how has he got the ball? Has gone in the same direction.
Yeah, he's not touched the ball.
It is just such a bad decision. And if he's not qualified, not good enough to see it himself, at least get some help, because there's not a fan that watches football or a player, ex-player, that wouldn't say that is not a penalty. It's a joke decision.
Yeah, but if the referee, the whole point of VAR is to help referees. So the referee doesn't give it, he doesn't see. He's in a great position. OK, he's made a mistake. It happens. It's happened in real time. 100 mile an hour for the referee. The whole point of VAR is to help a referee in that situation.
To check if it's a clear and obvious error.
Exactly. And this is
our favourite phrase.
Well, no, but this is where we want. This is the whole point of VAR. We brought it in. That should be a penalty for Liverpool. And this thing of clear and obvious, I just think this is a real problem now for sort of referees and VAR, where you're saying they don't want to referee games. Well, that's just going back to sort of 10 years ago when there was no VAR. The whole point of bringing it in is to help referees in certain situations when they get big decisions wrong. That was a big one.
He talked about consistency as well today, Jurgen Klopp, and you can see that was his real frustration with the red card incident, shall we call them. Harry Kane in the first half was a yellow card, was not invited to have a look at the replays again, Paul Tierney, by Chris Kavanagh, but the Robertson one was, and he overturned his decision. And what the key phrase here is speed and intensity. That's what we've heard on this Harry Kane one, why it wasn't, and the Robertson one, why it was.
That's a red card. That's a red card for me. When you go in and use that amount of force in this day and age, like I know when we played, it's not even probably a yellow. But now, right now, the way that the game is, it just scored. The crowd were up. I think he's out of control. I think if Robertson's foot is on the floor, I think he could have snapped his leg. It's not intentional. Harry Kane is not this sort of player. But the way the game is now, that is a red card. Now, and if he's not sure, go and have a look at the VAR, because how you can go to the VAR for Robertson, I just don't know. That is a red card.
What I don't understand is the terminology that's been used. Now, the one thing you may say is he calls him just above the boot. But the actual VAR terminology was the speed and intensity. Harry Kane's sprinting. Sprinting at the ball and lunges to it. You can't go any slower. So when you talk about speed and intensity, it couldn't have been any slower or less intensity. So that's just a nonsense.
And they're talking about the point of contact. No, are we all in agreement here?
But do you think the referee's looking at that thinking, obviously he doesn't get the ball but hits his arm, but because he runs off with the ball, do you think the referee's thinking, well, it's a bad tackle, but sort of thinking, but he's run off with the ball?
No, he got a yellow card.
Yeah, he got a yellow.
Got a yellow.
Yes, a foul. Yeah. I genuinely believe, especially, we've seen it throughout history of football. Captain, I know he's not the captain, but he's England captain, reputations, I think it helps a lot. I've always thought that.
Time of the game, potentially as well, it's in the first half.
Maybe early on in the game, and the difference between England captain and Scotland captain.
What was the game we did? West Ham, Liverpool. We said there was a red card. We said, well, you know, the timing in the game, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. I think that is, for me, a red card.
Let's see the Robertson one. Does anyone actually think they've got this wrong, or have they actually got this right?
This is right.
Yeah,
you're just frustrated whether they've just conceded the goal, Liverpool. I mean, it's just a stupid tackle, and I want those tackles to be red cards. I really do. When someone has a real swipe at someone with no real intent for the ball, and you're just trying to take someone out. No, that's a red card. I think Kyle Walker had something similar in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I've got no problem at all with these being red cards.